Hi, my name is Mandy Buchanan, and I'm the owner of the Go Deeper Bible Studies blog. And in this series, we are having a look at the Gospel in the Stars and what each constellation means in prophetic terms and how it relates to Christ. We have previously given an introduction to this topic and looked at how the wise men in Matthew knew to follow that particular star. And then we had a look at the constellations of Virgo and Libra. And today we are going to be having a look at the constellation of Scorpio. As with all other constellations, Scorpio is made up of 4 decans. The first one being Scorpio itself. The second and third are seen as one picture, which is serpents and Ophiuchus. And the fourth decan is Hercules. Now, Hercules and Ophiuchus stand for Christ, whereas the Scorpio and serpents stand for Satan. The big picture of this sign is that Scorpio is trying to sting the heel of a mighty man who is fighting with a snake, but is also crushed by the man. And so what we see here is a picture of Genesis 3, where God told Satan that the seed of woman would crush him, but that he would try to strike at his heel. Other names for this sign are a Akrab, which is the Hebrew name meaning the conflict of war. The Coptic name is Asidus, meaning attack of the enemy or oppression. The Arabic is Al-Akrab, meaning wounding him that cometh. And the brightest star has the Arabic name of Antares, which means the wounding. If we move on to the pictures of the second and third decan, that of Ophiuchus and serpents, we see that a snake, serpents, is being held fast by a strong man, Ophiuchus. And Ophiuchus is also, he's got firm control of the snake, and he's also standing on the head of the scorpion. And we know that serpents and Scorpio are both symbols of Satan. The serpents is going after the crown that was found in Libra, and is trying to get Christ's victory. But Christ has him under control and will ultimately throw him down. And as promised in Genesis 3, will crush the head of the scorpion. The brightest star in the neck of serpents has a Hebrew name Elia, which means the accursed. And this is how we know that it refers to Satan, because Satan is the accursed. And the brightest star in Ophiuchus is Ras al-Haggis, which means the head of him who holds. And we know that Christ holds all things, including Satan, under his control. Other stars in the Ophiuchus and serpents picture are Triophis, which means treading underfoot, Saiph, which means bruised, Carnibus, which means the wounding, and Megaris, which means contending. And so in the picture of Ophiuchus and serpents, we see the great war between Christ and Satan. But we know that Christ is in control and that he's won this war. In the zodiac at Dendera, we see that the picture of Ophiuchus and serpents is shown as a throne figure with the head of a hawk. The throne figure's name is Apibau, which means the chief who cometh. And the hawk's head is to symbolize that he is an enemy of the snake. And the snake is called Ku, which means ruled or enemy. And so again here we see the picture of Christ and Satan, that Satan is the enemy who is ruled by Christ, and Christ is the chief who cometh. Lastly, we come to the decan of Hercules. Now, Hercules is a strong man, but in this picture he's got his right heel lifted as though it has been stung. And his left foot, though, is firmly on the foot of the great dragon. In the zodiac at Dendera, again we see that this figure of Hercules is referred to as Bo. Now, a picture of Bo is repeated throughout the zodiac, and we've seen in other constellations that Bo, its meaning means he cometh, and it is always a picture of Christ as the coming king. And so Hercules, again, we see through the Dendera zodiac, is Christ. The brightest star in Hercules is Ras al Ghithin, which means the head of him who bruises. And the second brightest star is Coniferous, which means the branch kneeling. And we've seen also previously how Christ is the branch and how the Bible also referred to Christ as the branch. Other stars are Marsic, which means the wounding, and Ma Asain, which means the sin offering. And we know that Christ is our sin offering. And so I hope that you've enjoyed this look at the constellation of Scorpio and its different decans, and seen the great victory that is in store for us. That although Satan tries to win the victory, he is firmly held by Christ, and that Christ will crush Satan under his feet, and that one day we will go to be with Christ. So I hope you've enjoyed this picture and that you'll join us again next week. Thank you and goodbye.